Right guys, so you've seen what we've done yesterday in terms of doing a manual DPF regen. As you could tell, I couldn't do it with the forced regen with a scan tool, so you've got to do it another way. So the thing with the Navaras and Pathfinders is a diesel engine doesn't operate at its best until it's warm. So what you find then is, if you're doing a lot of small journeys and you're not letting the engine to get to optimum temperature, your ECU is a learning device, and it operates differently because there's a series of temperature sensors both on your exhaust in and around your engine, and your ECU adjusts the amount of air to fuel ratio depending on the temperature of the engine. Now if you're doing a lot of small journeys and jumping in and out of it and the car's not getting to optimum temperature, your vehicle's constantly overfueling and your ECU learns that. Now, so on the first long trip that you go, the ECU is programmed to constantly overfuel. So I've done a DPF regen and I've got full power back in this car now. When I jumped in it this morning and we went to take it for a 15-mile test run, when we first set off, the trip computer was showing like 10.7 miles to the gallon. And if you have a quick look now, we've got 16.6 miles to the gallon. So what I'm having to do is I'm having to spend the time with the car to get the car to relearn to match the amount of air to fuel ratio that's required to get decent miles per gallon. So that's why there's so many DPF issues. So what we need to do now is we need to go on a lengthy test run and get the fuel economy better. So come back to us in a bit and I'll tell you how well we've got it going. Leave it there. Another thing guys, if you're a mechanic and you're doing a big job and a big engine job, one of my biggest advices is to you is that you've got to spend the time when you've got it up and running. You can't just succumb to the pressure for the customer because they're desperate for the car back. The reason for that is that you've got to know that the vehicle's driving perfectly. Otherwise, something will go severely wrong in a short period of time. And trust me, the customer will be bouncing the car back at you, expecting you to fix it for free. So you've got to spend the time with it, as I'm doing here now. Unfortunately, there's no quick fix with the Nissan engine, particularly the diesel 2.5. So that's just a quick tip. Any mechanic, spend the time with the car, driving it, testing it, going through live data, because honestly, the last thing you want is for the car to come back in a month's time and the engine's goosed and you're having to do the job all over again. Right guys, so you've seen how poorly this car was. Thankfully the customer and the lady that owns it gave me extra time to work with it. So we haven't actually fitted any more new parts. No DPF, no oxygen sensors, no exhaust sensors and no temperature sensors. So we've saved her a small fortune in parts, spending the time that this car's needed. I will admit though, I've had to spend 50 quid in diesel. And always when you've had an injector issue and it's been overfueling, you've always got to do an oil change. And remember guys, it's DPF oil, C4, low ash, that's needed inside this vehicle. So I'll be giving it an oil filter change. This car is absolutely driving sweet as a nut. There's no fault codes, DPF lights out, and now we're happy for the customer because it's actually getting 28.8 miles to the gallon now, which is a vast improvement, and the ECU is actually still learning at this point in time. So my advice to you, if you own a Navara or a Pathfinder and it's got a DPF filter, or any vehicle actually that's got a DPF filter, diesel engine, let it warm up for 5 minutes before you set off driving, 10 minutes or something. Just warm that engine up and you'll get better efficiency. Another top tip for you guys, to avoid fuel problems in the future, try and fill your tank and then don't allow it to go into the red. In that sense, you'll save yourself a fortune in injectors, suction control valves, and fuel pressure rails. So the idea is service your car every 8,000 miles and make sure you do all the filters. That way you'll get a good miles per gallon. I've got a good friend in Phil from Quick Fit, and he services his every 8,000 miles, and he's getting out of his Pathfinder like 34 miles to the gallon, which is really good, which I'm going to be getting out of this very shortly. So service your car, fill your diesel up, use a diesel treatment every once in a while, and try and stay out of the red where possible. And like I said, diesel engines operate best at optimum temperatures. What else I can share with you in this video? Oh right, so we've had a run of these, so it's quite common, and we've actually got an MP300 at Bury at this moment in time, and we're hoping that Nissan UK are going to do the right thing, and because this MP300 has been misdiagnosed. It's identical to this, and it's potentially coming to us, and if so, you'll be seeing it, guys, and the story behind it too. The next two cars, because we've had a run of them, are Omar's and Paul's. Me and Nathan's going to have one apiece. You've got to remember, guys, no two cars are ever the same, because people's lifestyles are completely different. So when you're doing a major engine repair to this, remember, don't fall to the pressure of the customer needing the car back. You've got to spend that time with it. Otherwise, it's a good chance it can break down in a couple of months, and the customer's just going to bounce the car back at you and expect you to fix it there and then for free, even though you might have a load of cars booked in at that time, because they won't be happy, because parts are an absolute fortune, and the amount of time that you have to spend on the vehicle, is a lot of hours, to be honest with you. Like I say, no two cars are the same, and this is why sometimes jobs overrun onto other jobs, because if you don't spend that time with it, it will just bounce back at you and break down again, and nobody wants that. So thanks for watching. I hope you found this one interesting. She was a poorly baby, but she's running fine now. If you need my help and assistance at all, find us on Facebook, give us a like, subscribe for more, and if you need to contact me, the phone number's at the end of the video. Thanks for watching.